Hey everyone, we're going to be starting in John today. We are going to start out with a wedding. Let's just jump into John 2. On the third day, a wedding took place at Cana in Galilee. Jesus' mother was there, and Jesus and his disciples had also been invited to the wedding. When the wine was gone, Jesus' mother said to him, "They have no more wine." "Dear woman, why do you involve me?" Jesus replied, "My time has not yet come." Jesus didn't come to Earth to do party tricks. He must have been constantly sighing as Mary ignored his reasoning, and he's like, fine, whatever. And also, I guess I should explain the problem. Weddings were the biggest parties of all in that culture, and if the wine ran out at your wedding, then you might as well just move because it was kind of disgraceful. His mother said to the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." Nearby stood 6 stone water jars, the kind used by the Jews for ceremonial washing, each holding from 20 to 30 gallons. Jesus said to the servants, "Fill the jars with water." So they filled them to the brim. Then he told them, "Now draw some out and take it to the master of the banquet." They did so, and the master of the banquet tasted the water that had been turned into wine. He did not realize where it had come from, though the servants who had drawn the water knew. Then he called the bridegroom aside and said, "Everyone brings out the choice wine first, and then the cheaper wine after the guests have had too much to drink. But you have saved the best till now." This, the first of his miraculous signs, Jesus performed at Cana in Galilee. He thus revealed his glory, and his disciples put their faith in him. So, that's that. I honestly find this miracle very strange. In pretty much all of Jesus' miracles, they either have a purpose or heal someone or something. This one really was just a party trick. But I guess if the disciples had a bigger faith in him, then it had some purpose. And so now we're going to be diving into more miracles and healings. First, we're going to be dealing with an evil spirit. Fun, right? Okay, it's in both Mark and Luke, but let's do Mark because I feel like we don't read Mark enough. So, Mark 1:21. They went to Capernaum, and when the Sabbath came, Jesus went into the synagogue and began to teach. The people were amazed at his teaching because he taught them as one who had authority, not as the teachers of the law. First, I would just like to mention how cool and funny that is. People were realizing that Jesus had authority. Hopefully that they figured out he was the authority with a capital A. And it's funny because they were realizing that the other teachers of the law were not as smart. Anyways, just then a man in their synagogue who was possessed by an evil spirit cried out, "What do you want with us, Jesus of Nazareth? Have you come to destroy us? I know who you are, the Holy One of God." "Be quiet," said Jesus sternly. "Come out of him." The evil spirit shook the man violently and came out of him with a shriek. The people were all so amazed that they asked each other, "What is this? A new teaching? And with authority. He even gives orders to evil spirits and they obey him." News about him spread quickly over the whole region of Galilee. So I read a bit about demon possession on my work computer, which is great. I don't know why I thought that was a great idea, but hey, I'm pretty sure most kids that go to the library are demon-possessed anyways. I'm kidding. But basically what I learned is that I don't know. But I figured that people love to have their own opinions. Yes, I'm looking at you. So I'll just ask questions and give small bits of evidence, because, it's a very interesting subject that isn't talked about a lot. But this won't be the only time that Jesus casts out a demon, and not even the only time anyone casts out a demon, because the disciples do it as well. Which would bring me to my first question: can only God and people that God has given the power to do so, can only they cast out demons? Can ordinary people cast them out? And also, what constitutes as a demon possession? It has been argued that sometimes when we think that there is a demon possession, that it is actually just some mental illness. From what I read, sometimes that could be the case, but sometimes it must be something supernatural. Another big question: could someone be demon-possessed or just demon-influenced? I find that it could be possible that the cases where the demon talks to Jesus are demon possession, but maybe other times it's just a demon playing with the human's health. And here's a thought. In Matthew 28:18, Jesus says, "All authority in heaven and earth has been given to me." So do you think that it is possible that something happened at that point to where demons couldn't possess people, or do you think it's still possible? Also, why are there more cases of demon possession in third world countries rather than the Western world? Could it be that demons don't want to show themselves where cameras are? Could it be that the people there are superstitious, but the people in the first world are not, so if a demon were to possess someone in our community, then people would realize, oh, maybe there is a God, which is the exact opposite of what the devil wants to do? Also, in this modern world, what can lead to demon possession? Some sites claim some interesting things, like, is crystal ball reading about calling demons, or is it just a stupid thing to lose your money to? Is astrology related to demons, or is it just for people with half a brain? What about D&D, or what about the game Doom? I could probably answer that because I've played it, and I feel fine so far, so it's probably fine. Or what about Joseph Smith? Was he demon-possessed, or was he just the biggest con artist of all time? Anyways, there's a lot for you to think about, and I don't have all the answers, so most likely you will either agree that it's hard to grapple, or you will stay strong with your beliefs. Either way, I can't stop you, and I'd hate to end the episode like this because there's no lesson or theme or anything. I'll try to come up with one. Maybe you can't know everything, but you can still trust in God. Thanks, guys.